Hi everyone, and welcome to MiHCM Year in Review. I'm Taruka, and I'm here with Pubudini Abeyesekera, our General Manager Business Operations for both Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Lovely to have you here today.
Hi Taruka, nice to be here.
So, according to the World Bank, Pubudini, Sri Lanka's economy is projected to see a moderate growth of 2.2% in 2024 and is showing major signs of stabilization following, of course, the severe economic downturn of 2022. In your opinion, how has this impacted the digital HR industry both in Sri Lanka and the Maldives?
Yeah, so in retrospect, Taruka, looking back, I think last year we did see a severe downturn in terms of clients wanting to, explore new avenues in terms of transforming the digital experiences, especially for their users and staff. However, towards the latter part of last year, we did see a change happening, and of course the numbers kind of speak for itself, where it reflects that the markets are kind of waking up again and looking at new avenues in terms of how they can digitally transform, especially the HR functions. If you look at the end of last year, we did see clients looking at HR transformation more like a nice to have, even though they actually have a requirement. This is an absolute need for any company, that even though it may be a small to medium, or even a large enterprise, having a robust HR system ensures that they are able to manage their day-to-day HR activities, and also to make sure that it's easier for their staff to get things done day to day. However, if you look at last year, looking back, we did see a significant slowdown in the first two quarters, but towards the third and fourth quarter, we did see things picking up, and of course, it has significantly impacted in the way that our clients engage with us as well.
Great. So if we were to, speak a little more MiHCM specifically, how did this affect our business operations in the last financial year?
Yeah, so when we look at the kind of clients that we were looking at onboarding or prospecting, we noticed that most of them, although the requirement was available or requirement was there, they kind of put it on the back burner based on budgetary restraints, etc. However, in terms of what they needed to do, we were still engaging with them and making sure that they knew we were available at any time when they were ready to onboard, making sure that we understand what their processes are, what exactly their requirements are. Because end of the day, clients need to understand or need to know that what they need done from an HR system is available, and those kind of processes need to be in-depth, checked in-depth, analyzed, as well as aligned to a system. So that's what we kept doing. We did not give up on clients just because they were slowing down in terms of onboarding. We ensured that we spoke to them, kept in touch with them, and did the basic groundwork in terms of getting them through that difficult period, and also giving them the comfort factor that their system, their requirements are aligned to the system. So we also had a good opportunity, actually, that slowdown gave us the opportunity to learn the client's needs in depth.
So I think this in-depth approach has really worked, and as you mentioned, the numbers clearly do show this in the last financial year. So speaking of which, could you tell us some details about some of our most significant accomplishments in the last financial year, some significant client wins perhaps?
Yes. So the most significant, I would say, is where we onboarded the largest commercial bank in Sri Lanka with a headcount of almost 5,000 employees, and also the largest insurance company in Sri Lanka with a headcount of almost 3,000. So both of these clients, quite interestingly, were on our legacy platform previously. And of course, they did very intense evaluations in terms of their cloud upgrade, looking at other vendors as well. However, even though we were the incumbent to upgrade with them, knowing the domain that they operate in gave us a very good advantage in terms of understanding their requirements in depth. And also it kind of gave them the comfort that we were aware of what they needed to do. So the fact that we have a fantastic product helped in terms of convincing them that although they are moving on to a cloud platform, not just the domain knowledge of our employees in terms of who will be delivering the project and also subsequently managing their system. The fact that the system also was quite significantly improved in terms of the cloud product that we offered. So it was a no-brainer in most cases, I would say.
On the flip side, could you highlight for us some of the most challenging projects that MiHCM successfully, of course, undertook during the last financial year, and also which demonstrated the versatility of our product suite, which you were just talking about?
Yes, so as I mentioned, some of the upgrade clients that we did speak to had very unique requirements based on their industries, policies that they have internally, etc. So migrating most of those onto cloud is not a thing you can do, as is. You cannot actually migrate a legacy client immediately onto cloud just because they want to get onto a cloud platform. So we had to actually deep dive into each and every client requirement, each and every aspect of what they wanted to do to make sure that they have a seamless transition when they moved from the legacy platform onto cloud. So this doesn't actually stop just with the upgrade clients, but also with the net new clients, because they are used to a different system, especially if you take clients that are on an enterprise version, larger clients with headcounts over 5,000, for example. They have very specific requirements that they have been using with a different product. And now they've been evaluating vendors in terms of moving on to a separate product. And they would want to ensure that their activities can be done as is, that what they were used to, right? So we actually kind of take that as a challenge in terms of how we deploy MiHCM and also the way we analyze their requirements to ensure that the client does not have to, have that doubt as to whether MiHCM can cater to them as they were using the previous product. So in terms of how we do this, we go in depth, as I mentioned earlier, talking to the clients and also, deep diving into each and every little aspect that generally might not even be thought of from the client side as to do we need to even talk about this area. But we deep dive to ensure that they also understand. So some significant areas, as I mentioned, some of the challenges we had was project that we took over, the largest commercial bank. They were having very specific requirements in terms of their previous employees, etc. So we needed to make sure that they were able to migrate onto cloud and ensure that requirements are catered to through our system as well. So we've done that successfully.
So exciting stuff, and thank you for sharing that. So Pubudini, looking to the future, how do you envision MiHCM's growth and impact in the upcoming years? Where do you see MiHCM going?
So in terms of where we have come so far, Taruka, there are areas that we have also identified that could further improve in the way we deep dive in terms of client requirements, etc. What we have done is to ensure that we have the domain knowledge. So if we are focusing on a particular industry or particular client, we ensure that we are able to match the knowledge required for that particular industry. Let's take, for example, something like manufacturing. We do have a very good, strong clientele in manufacturing. And if you look at our past earlier clients, we have clients of significant value and also breadth where they have global operations. So in terms of the domain knowledge in manufacturing, the teams that operate on these projects, not just from the sales side, but also in the delivery and also subsequently on the support side, need to have in-depth knowledge of these domains, because it's not something that we can expect the client to come and tell us, this is what we need to do. We have to be proactive. So that is how we are going to drive our growth, by ensuring that when we engage with a particular client or an industry, that we also are quite confident in terms of their requirements and competent in terms of discussions, especially when they need to brainstorm certain ideas, new ideas that they want to do, that we are able to, add value to them. So when we look at that kind of a focused approach in terms of the clients that we want to go for this year and also going forward in terms of our growth, I'm very focused in terms of where I'm going to go and take the company as well as the teams. So we will basically ensure that we deliver value to the clients that we deal with, and make sure that they're comfortable in terms of onboarding with us, and ensure that the onboarding is seamless. That's how we will drive growth this year.
Great. So thank you so much for joining us, Pubudini. It was great catching up with you. And thank you, lovely members of our audience today. To stay tuned, you can follow us on social media, visit our website to stay updated with the latest in MiHCM. Thank you and have a great day.